Bill, you're muted.
Okay. Was I muted? Off to a good start. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, which I flubbed the first time anyway, of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. I'm Bill Miller, personal pronouns, he and his, personal passions, climate, justice, and spirituality. It's my pleasure to serve as your worship associate today. We here at UUFNN are growing, not just in numbers, but in our faith that by being and working together, we can bring about peace and justice. It is a joy to see each of you this Sunday as we connect for a time of reflection and inspiration and introspection on Zoom. We welcome all to be part of us, regardless of racial identity, age, economic circumstances, immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. We love having new people join us, and if that's you, feel free to contact the office or our website for more information. You can also click on the link in the chat box to fill out a newcomer form and sign up for our newsletter that will keep you informed of all the activities here at UUFNN. You can update your name on our screen so we can know who is visiting us. Note that you will remain muted during the service, but you can use the chat box for comments, especially during prayer and meditation time. As a courtesy, please refrain from making announcements while folks are presenting. Also, I encourage everyone to join in the Zoom coffee time following the service, where we break into small groups and have an opportunity to visit one-on-one. Thank you for all being with us this morning. Wes.
Our call to worship today is written by Reverend Lynn Cox. Come, you accidental pilgrims, you who find yourself on a journey of surprise and wonder. Come, you who emerge into this place as an act of liberation. Come, you who seek a life of mindfulness and a place to test your thoughts. Come, you who bring hearts of all kinds, heavy hearts, rusty hearts, hearts broken open in revelation, hearts full of love to share. Come, you who seek courage, and you who have more courage than you realize. Come, you who stand behind the curtain, gathering up the resources to claim your truth. Come, you who have been in a bubble, you who are poised for transformation. We begin our story again, gathering courage, love, mindfulness, and a sense of purpose. We gather as people of all ages, of different abilities, different backgrounds, and different perspectives. We share a covenant, a direction for our shared journey, and a commitment to encourage and challenge one another to spiritual growth. This path will ask much of us. Let us move forward with love. Let us move forward with appreciation for one another. Let us move forward knowing we are not alone. Whoever you are, whatever your gifts, you are welcome to join this journey. Our chalice lighting today is the Hebrew blessing of the candle. Thomas will then read the English translation as his brother Samuel performs the chalice lighting. I invite all of you to light your own chalice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotah v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to light the Shabbat candle.
Adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Shalom aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam, salam. Salam aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam. Peace will come upon us, peace will come upon us, peace will come upon us and everyone. Peace will come upon us, peace will come upon us, peace will come upon us and everyone. Salam, aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam, 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 aleinu ve'akol ha'olam, salam, salam. Adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu, adivo shalom aleinu ve'akulam. Drums! You can dance during this.
Now this reading from the book of Exodus. Then Moses summoned all the elders of Israel and said unto them, Go at once and select the animals for your families and slaughter the Passover lamb. Take a bunch of hyssop, dip it in the blood in the basin, and put some of the blood on the top and both sides of your door frame. None of you shall go out the door of your house until morning. When the Lord goes through the land to strike down the Egyptians, he will see the blood on the top and the sides of the doorframe and will pass over that doorway, and he will not permit the destroyer to enter your houses and strike you down. Obey these instructions as a lasting ordinance for you and your descendants. When you enter the land that the Lord will give you as he promised, observe this ceremony. And when your children ask of you, What does this ceremony mean to you? Then tell them, it is Passover sacrifice to the Lord, who passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and spared our homes when he struck down the Egyptians. Then the people bowed down and worshiped. And that brings us to the point in the service for the offertory, because it is through your generosity and dedication that we here at the UUFNN are self-sufficient. By each of us stepping forward and offering what we can continue to provide a space for all that we do for each other and the wider community. Please share what bounty you can today by texting 73256. Put UUFNN in the message box and hit send. You can also mail a check to the office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, 89511. Or if you want to simplify the process, You can sign up for automatic giving. Contact Carol at the office for the authorization form. We are also sharing the plate with the Native Communities Program, part of PLAN, the Progressive Leadership Alliance of Nevada. They are working to develop an indigenous voice for the people who have been separated from their ancestral lands. You have to text separately for your offering. This is also the time to complete your annual pledge form. It really helps the board and finance community if you can submit that plan as soon as possible so they can propose an accurate budget and meet the needs of our fellowship. Thank you for taking care of our beloved community. Now let the offering begin. Please join me as we bless these offerings. To the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Our board and finance committee has set a budget of $335,000 for the next fiscal year. Those monies go to pay for our wonderful and magnificent staff, our building upkeep, different programs, our justice work, and so much more, including expenses relating to try to do hybrid services this next year. And the grounds committee has a detailed proposal for the pruning and care of our 33 trees on our UUFNN campus. Now, some of these trees are starting to drop limbs that present a hazard in the South Lawn area around the education building. So to date, we've received 105 pledges for $299,000. So if you do your math, that means that we're $36,000 short of our goal. And that also means that we're $26,000 short of this year's budget. I know we can do it. We just need a few more of you to submit your pledges. So any amount you can do will help us reach our goal. Now, some of us may have to go back and see if we can increase our pledges, as 45 of you have already done. Now, the stewardship committee was titled Keeping the Faith, and I have faith. I have faith in you that you can make it happen. So thank you for stepping forward and making a commitment.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like an Israelite. God's gonna trouble the water. Ha! Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Now, come on. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that band all dressed in red. God's gonna trouble the water. It looks like the band that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Ha! Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Come on. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Good morning. My name is J.J. Lee, and my reflection for today is called, Anyone? What's a good Christian girl doing in a place like this? Mae West, provocative sex symbol of the early to middle 1900s, and my patron saint. Goodness has nothing to do with it. I am a lapsed Unitarian returned to the fold. And much like the prodigal son of New Testament theology, my homecoming to UUFN was greeted with warmth, unconditional love, and in my estimation, undeserved ease of reconciliation, essentially a no questions asked, all is forgiven situation. So it is with humility, but not humiliation, that I share a bit of myself with you today. As the penultimate Mae West said, I wrote this story myself. It's about a girl who lost her reputation and never missed it. Today is the first of 8 days of Passover celebration. Passover, as you probably know, marks the yearly remembrance of the Israelites' journey from slavery in Egypt to a strained freedom in the promised land of Israel. Not all that is promised comes easily. And Passover reminds me of my own faith journey, bringing me to Unitarian Universalism. Allow me to provide some context for this sojourn. My father, a Methodist minister, married my mother, a Christian girl, while he was in seminary and she in college. My mother, born in 1934, was adopted from an orphanage in Oklahoma when she was a few days old. When I asked her about it, she denied any interest in knowing about her birth parents, but she was told by her adoptive family that she was conceived of, and I directly quote here, I am not making this up, an Indian girl and a college boy. That's a loaded statement on so many levels, I can't and won't even try to unpack it. Regardless, this folklore followed my mother until her death in 1993. Our family embraced the life of the itinerant ministry, moving every few years to take up a new pastorate. A stereotypical preacher's kid, I relished standing next to my father to shake hands with parishioners after Sunday services, help out in the Sunday school, and generally be a good Christian girl. While other kids were playing house, I was playing church. In my play, I was the minister and my friends were churchgoers. When asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" my answer was always immediate and resounding. "I want to be a minister." I memorized Bible verses, I prayed, and most of all, I loved Jesus. When my father accepted a leadership position in the Methodist Conference, we were out of a parsonage. So we moved to one of Boston's progressive commuter suburbs, Newton, Massachusetts. Newton is known for many things: a great public school system, the Boston Marathon's treacherous Heartbreak Hill, and even a cookie. The Fig Newton is named after the city. And Newton is known for an unordinary concentration of Jewish residents. In Newton, I went to schools where many of my classmates were Jewish. I dated Jewish boys and longed for Jewish girls. I dined with Jews. I went to sleepovers with Jews. I worked for Jews. I got up close and personal with the culture and religious Judaism, and I loved it. During that time, my father earned a brief fellowship for study in Israel. He took us with him. At age 13, to stand on the soil of the Holy Land was the fulfillment of a dream I didn't even know I had. Our adventures took us to a tiny cave believed to be the place of Jesus' birth. We walked the way of the cross. We lost our breath at the Wailing Wall, now known as the Western Wall, and we sauntered the streets of the old Jerusalem open-air market with its unrelenting smells of what passed for meat there, mixed with heat and sweat and olive oil. On a bus tour of Haifa, we drank orange juice from oranges fresh off the trees. It all just goes to show, according to Mae West, good girls go to heaven, bad girls go everywhere. College for me at a small New England school for women was a series of profound and challenging, confusing steps along my path to who and what I am today. At Mount Holyoke, I came out as a lesbian, but not before careening around campus Christian circles and becoming saved or born again. As a sophomore, I actually petitioned for my preacher's license and was endorsed by my home parish, only to determine for myself that I was probably better off not belonging to a club that didn't want my kind as one of its members. Upon graduation, I entered the world a confident and certified adult, eventually settling into a comfortable, accomplishment-filled post-Stonewall existence, but was left bereft of religion or any real sense of spirituality. I was, again quoting the inimitable Mae West, the kind of girl who climbed the ladder of success wrong by wrong. As time went on, I got to know a great group of Jewish gals, a few of whom are still my closest friends today. I dated some of them, partied with many of them, marched with all of them under the banner of Tikva, People of Hope, at gay pride festivals in Boston every year. I was a welcome guest to their Passover Seders, not just to be the Shabbos Goy, a non-Jew who performs duties not allowed of Jews during Sabbath, but because having paid attention year after year and not drinking the requisite 4+++ cups of Manischewitz, I could remember parts of the order of the service/feast that they could not. You might say that at the time I was very Jew curious. And yes, Mae West said it best: I'll try anything once, twice if I like it, 3 times to make sure. I met an Israeli woman in Boston and decided to begin taking Hebrew classes. I attended Friday night Shabbat dinners in her home. I lit the Shabbat candles. I made Israeli salad. I ate her indescribably delicious homemade pita. And no, that is not a euphemism. I was prepared to make aliyah, immigration to and citizenship in Israel. As Mae West would say, I've been things and seen places. But instead, I made aliyah to Kripalu, the largest residential yoga retreat center in the United States, set in the beautiful Berkshires of Massachusetts, to try to forget my Israeli sweetheart. I embraced yoga, meditation, Hindu chanting, and my future wife, Mary, during my 3-month program at Kripalu. I also loyally prepared the Shabbat candles every Friday night at the Jewish table and claimed my seat there. A few years later, Mary and I headed to Boulder, Colorado, where she and I attended classes at Naropa University. And soon I started to feel a rekindling of my interior Jewish flame with some Buddhist nuances. I seriously considered entering Buddhist seminary there, and might have, had we not rather abruptly moved to Reno. Ah, Reno, you arid high desert, you landlocked mini paradise, land of all you can eat, gamble, smoke, and drink, you bastion of restraint and morality, you spiritual Mecca, you. Reno, where too much of a good thing, said Mae West, can be wonderful. It was Reno where the fit really hit the shan for me in my spiritual trek. I had finished my first master's degree in adult education and took a job at hospice. 3 years in, they went through their gazillionth reduction in force, and I was suddenly thrust into the pool of the unemployed. The worst part of being laid off was no longer performing my role as volunteer chaplain, a weekend avocation that I loved even more than my job as a coordinator of hospice volunteers. Mary suggested I consider becoming an alcohol and drug counselor, one of her many absolutely terrific ideas that I put off for about 2 years. And instead, I tried to reinvent myself in a creative way that never panned out. So it was out of utter desolation and mental exhaustion that I took Mary's advice and worked to become a licensed alcohol and drug counselor, a career that has brought me equal parts pain and pleasure. Counseling might be the closest I have come to a realized vocation, a way of ministering without being a minister. But still, I wanted to know, who am I? So I ordered a DNA kit and sent my specimen off to mine the mystery. 2 long months later, the results came back in the form of a website promising all the information that would unlock my secrets. I homed in on the first field that graphically depicted exactly how much Native American blood I have via my adopted mother. 0. 0. Wait, what? I thought my mother was part Native American. That's what they said, right? 0. I wasn't disappointed. I was mad for my mother, who never really knew any real thing about what she was truly made of. And selfishly, I was quite mad for myself. We had both lived under this biological illusion. And now, instead of knowing who I was, I felt the kind of emptiness one only feels standing in the middle of a desert all alone. Thank God for my beloved researcher, Mary. When I cast the laptop aside, she picked it up and continued to scroll through the mountains of material. JJ, I think you should look at this, she said. Nah, I got what I needed. I'm good, I sulked. She scrolled some more. Yeah, I think you should really take a look at this, she cajoled. Shh, I'm watching TV. I don't like it when people talk during my TV shows. Mary continued to explore the website. Finally, she insisted, "You need to see this." I abruptly snatched the laptop back. "What?" I held the laptop outstretched like so much dog do as she scrolled and pinched open and scrolled and highlighted until she had the site just where she wanted it. "What?" I snapped again. As I read slowly, confused, flummoxed, scared, and excited, uncertain but hopeful, there it was. My DNA was connected to 3 of the 4 matriarchs or founding mothers of the tribes of Israel, from whom the Jewish nation originates: Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. New. So, what has all this to do with Passover and the Jews' passage from slavery into ceaselessly tense freedom? Maybe it's as simple as what Mae West said: "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." But I don't think so. I think it's that whether we are imprisoned by the system or we enjoy the liberty to come and go as we please, we can still find ourselves trapped by rigid beliefs and constructs that hold us locked in our own minds to a single truth. Was my mother Jewish and simply fooled about her Native American descent? Was she a member of a lost tribe, a 13th tribe? Was she safely ensconced in the United States from Germany by some prescient and selfless Jewish family before the outbreak of death marches and concentration camps in Nazi Germany, like Moses in the bulrushes? Or is this my crazy story to explain away childish patterns and psychological issues? Maybe it's a story simply so unbelievable it can't possibly be true. I've been a Christian. I've practiced Buddhism. I've dabbled in Hindu yogic arts, and I always seem to return to a strong and inextinguishable connection to Judaism. Unitarian Universalism makes it possible for me, demands of me, to be all of that and more, all at the same time, without embarrassment or apology, without birth certificate or certainty. In sum, I suggest always doing as Mae West recommended: keep a diary, and one day it'll keep you. As we say at the end of each Passover Seder, next year in Jerusalem.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, bestillt cele shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, bestillt cele terua. Concha te hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
We join our hearts and our minds and our spirits together for this time of community prayer and meditation this morning. We give thanks this morning for each of our journeys that have brought us to this place, winding circuitously, and we give thanks for the web of our journeys that unite us and enable us to create community. This morning, as we ponder the web of connectedness to all humanity in all places and in all times, back from the ancient days to now, We want to take a moment and send out our love to those places and persons who have been impacted by senseless violence in these last days. Let us take a moment now and send out our love and our energy of healing to these places. May we recommit ourselves to the ending of senseless violence. We give thanks today for a place to belong, a place where our journeys interconnect, a place where we are able to share our stories. We give thanks for the hope that we experience in the coming of spring, the budding of the trees, the warm breeze on our skin. We bring with us today celebrations and joys, sorrows and concerns. And you're invited in these next few moments to record those in the chat box, the prayers and the meditations that are on your hearts today. We gather all of our intentions, our cares, our worries, our celebrations, our fears, and we gather them all together into the heart of love. And as is our custom, we close our time of prayer and meditation with our gesture, one hand on the heart, one hand, palm extended, sending out our energy of love as our way of saying to one another, I see you, I hear you. We are connected. We are all in this together. Blessed be, and amen.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, Betil Tele Shama. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Bestil Tele Terua. Kahan Shama Te Haleya. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
want to thank you so much for joining us for our Passover service today. We're delighted, as always, to have you with us. And we're especially delighted to those of you who are joining us from across the country. We are, it is one of the gifts of this time that we have extended our boundaries, or what we think of as our community. And so we're delighted to have many of you who join us from afar. You're always welcome. Please do watch your emails for connection and programming opportunities. There will be information forthcoming about our next steps in our racial justice work, and we are working hard to bring those together, and we'll be announcing those opportunities very, very soon. If you know of someone who needs support, a hand to hold, financial support, who needs a community, who needs someone to care, please let us know that. So that we can make sure that no one is feeling alone during this time. Our posse is continuing to prepare meals to distribute to our neighbors who are experiencing food insecurity. And in our weekly emails, there is a list of things that are beneficial toward that effort. And also we continue to need volunteers. So if you can help with that, the information is in your weekly email. I want to thank you once again for joining us today. We're delighted for this opportunity to be together. Please do stay on at the end of our closing song for a few minutes to have some coffee hour conversations in small groups. Now let us join together in our closing song.
Hold it, not yet, sorry. When Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. You can help by clapping on those big beats. The Lord told Moses what to do. Let my people go. To lead the tribe of Israel through. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Here we go. For you the cloud shall clear the way. Let my people go. A fire by night, a shade by day. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. We need not always weep and moan. Let my people go. And wear these slavery chains for long. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Yeah, to let my people go. One more time. To let my people go.
Let us form our symbolic point of connection for our final blessing. Beloved, as we extinguish our chalices today, take the light and the warmth with you, knowing that you are a spark of love in our universe. May you spread that love deeply within yourself and to all the places in need of healing and love and warmth in our world. Blessed be, amen, and namaste.
Oh.